Hi, my name is Slate. I'm a local poet in Dayton, Ohio. I've been writing poetry since I was 12 years old, and I fell in love with it recently. I'm at Therapy Cafe doing the Sisters with Voices edition, and I'm so thankful to be here. And I'm thankful for my name, Slate, because that lets everybody know each new day I can be erased, cleaned up, and start again. Somewhere, a young body is being sold as a flesh slave. Her young womb being catapulted into the flow of the sex trade. Her 12-year-old limbs are being contorted into less than compromising positions. Her agility and fragility is being forced through resistance, yet her mother let her go. Right here, right now, a young body is being sold as a flesh slave. His young mind deeply penetrated into the flow of the dope game. Zanes and speed was post-weed, can roll a blunt and still pop, pop, pop a seed. The worth of a soldier is only known on the battlefield. He's 5'3", 122 pounds, and believes he's no one until he's killed. You're nobody till somebody kills you. At least that's what Biggie told him. And his father let him go. Somewhere, an old body is evidentially a flesh slave. Afraid to teach, let alone reach out beyond the bed of piss, blood, and bruises. Too scared to tell that little girl of the many things that she loses when she remains quiet. A hero is never silenced. Who does that? He does. He touches me in places that my mama told me were private. And even though I keep it covered, I can never really hide it. One time I became brave enough to tell him to stop, till I found that it made it easier for this flesh wound to cop. My next fix, my next hit, my next take me there and make me fly. Beat my hesitation with rough semen and ejaculation. Pound my backstabbing posterior for refusing to turn away, and please just choke the life from me for being too damn stoned to say. I had a choice. I just couldn't let it go. For not being a heroine, but being a heroin hoe. I never took anything from anybody. But once I lost my kids, I just wanted to stay up. But once I lost my kids, I just didn't give a... What? The same sky we lay under. Somewhere, an old body is evidentially a flesh slave. 6'3", a strong stature, and a fresh grave. Daddy, why'd you let him do it? Mama, I prayed you see me through it. Lord, I come to you now because I am empty and I am weak, and those children, they need me. I'm the father that they seek. I never knew that I was robbing my own freedom when I took shit. I never knew it now, but now, Lord, I need him. I never knew what time it really was. I just knew that my making it was the ultimate buzz, but I'm not high anymore. I'm what they're searching for. I will protect them from the golden gate. You will make sure their souls are saved, and had my tears been like roses atop this here casket, maybe the fruits of my loins would be rotten in this earthly basket. Inspired by Tony. Hey, black man, I see you, and I will acknowledge you because I am aware of your existence. I realize that for years the affirmation of your being has been solely dependent upon your doing. I watch you each and every day. I understand what pain you must be in. I see the welts of hurt across your face from years of verbal lashings. I feel the warmth of your heart as you step out into the world, beckoning for your moment, your time, your arrival. Hey, black man, I understand why you stroll along with an aura of nonchalance in an effort to protect your fragilities, your insecurities, your weakness. I have seen the bruises on your back from the weight of the world pressing against you relentlessly in an effort to pull and keep you down. I feel the warmth of your heart as you look out into the world beckoning for your moment, your time, your arrival. Hey, black man, I see you. I acknowledge your existence. For far too long, your contributions have went unnoticed, but I see you. Quietly standing, listening, letting no name, any who yell, cry, shout, vent, and eventually smile. It was your closed mouth that opened their hearts. I see you working your clock to time, hustling at 9 to 5 to put food on the table and provide for yours and theirs. I see you, black man, and I will acknowledge you forever because I am aware of your existence. Hey, black man, I'd just like to ask you, how have you been doing?
Tell them that their daddy was a good man.
This young lady has been a partner of mine for the last year. I met her last year, and we had the opportunity to perform together at a couple sites in Cincinnati, and I just grown to absolutely love her. So I want you to please put your hands together for this phenomenal artist, better known as Slate.
Most people usually associate Dr. Martin Luther King with race relations and things like that, but nobody really pays attention to the fact that he was so intelligent that he shared his heart, his wisdom of compassion and certain other things with other people, and I'd like to elaborate on that. With that said, moving like a king, MLK. Education is key. Yet even with a scholastic degree, compassion opens a door that teaches there is no I in we. Expect no, do the unexpected. Previous fallacies and misconceptions rejected. See, we don't have to reside in a foundation of conformity. We can relocate and move on 1, 2, and 3. Faith, determination, and perseverance. We can sit in or stand up, moving with adherence, no forced moves or corrugated grooves. No separation or segregation, only motivation for improvement. Like a seal that coins recompense, it's not about the money, more in reference to our deliverance. Progressing through oppression goes beyond a white collar. Blue shirts, white napkins tipped with red dollars. King once said, America wrote us a bad check, one marked insufficient funds. And we know that the banks of justice aren't bankrupt, but so shall we be if we always sit and never stand up. E pluribus unum, out of many, one drew. Only sad when it's aimed at me, or better yet, when it's aimed at you. This movement only requires two. If any of us should fall, let there be another to take your place. Dr. King shan't be the last to advance without reducing this common grace. If we're pushed by the wayside, becoming waifs against the shore, we must question the unthinkable, yes, and wage intellectual war. Education is key. We have endured many a long night in the moonlit beacon of bravery, sleeping in the hollow reality with idealism freed from slavery. I implore you, understand this, that what is done in the dark, sunlight will never, ever miss. One day, we must all reap what we have sown. The trees they hose today nurture the dogwoods we've outgrown. No more back alleys, but plenty more bridges to come. And keeping one's eye on glory, we must know there is so much more work to be done. Will there be one? One to stand in the face of Jim Crow. Subtle subjugation allows us to walk in the front door, riding the freedom hound from D.C. to New Orleans, pushing the limits of the agreed necessary by all means. It's what we all have the right to do. Somehow the law became the irrationality of an inhumane few, pushed aside, turned around, beat up, and then beat down. How many times can a wall be built before something comes plowing through? How many ways can us people scream before their cries are heard by you? Born a king, before Martin, he was Michael. Shone like a star, and through his life, he let his light glow. The teachings of Gandhi inspired in him change. His constant quest for just impartiality convinced most that he must have been deranged. See, we should be the change that we expect to see in the world. Little black boys learning beside little white girls. Education is key. They say, where there's smoke, there's fire. Well, I say, Where there's opportunity, reach a little bit higher. Learning to unlearn is unlikely, yet yields promise like the land. To stand in line beside, not in front or behind a man. See, there are many faces to inequality if you subject me to I, you, or we. Race, I'm African American or black. Gender, testosterone I lack. Either way, we're each a wolf running amidst the pack. We feed off of pressure, yet carnage supplied us so much more. Looking behind at what's left, I must ask, what in the world are we waiting for? Integrated ideologies taught that we had greater achievements together. Regardless to who sits beside us, two heads can think much better. Then one, please, stop pushing the other aside. We're taking our path to freedom, and during the detrimental ride, cast our ballots on that line. We are voting right now, today. Elect our own demise if we recount any other way. Remembering who we are, none of us has forgotten about yesterday. To believe, well, that's something. To know, well, that's so much more. Again, I must ask you, what in the world are we waiting for? Education is key. Billy clubbed, poked in the face, and being flung down, we've seen the richness of our place above the poor position of their societal disgrace. Shame. Shame on you who denies what is true. It was and still is wrong. Still, we are responsible for what continues to go on. Children, these babies in here, today, they're taught to be boisterous, uncontrollable, yet proud. See, they saw the truth in the whisper that most were afraid to speak out loud. A poet for peace, whose actions stirred an uproar of calm. Marching in a blue suit linked with like minds, arm in arm. We're on the move now. We can go back as far as we must, way up north or deep down south. The bowels of injustice should have no taste in our mouth, for we hunger for something greater, and we thirst for so much more. Once again, I must ask you, what in the world are we waiting for? Take hold of your neighbor's hand, please. Take hold of your neighbor's hand. Everybody, grab the hand of your neighbor, please. I got your hand right here, mama. I got you right here. Take hold of your neighbor's hand. Now place a prayer inside your heart. Live this life in love and uprightness lest we part. The impression that we shall leave won't ever disperse. In hope, through faith, in courage, and sadness, or even worse, we will not be bitter. We will not be afraid. We will not stand still. No longer are we delayed. Education is key. Teach. Thank you. Actually derived from a dream, an actual dream. I call myself a dreamer. I get poems in my sleep. I do. And so I didn't know what to make of the dream, so I wrote it down, everything that happened, and out of it came the piece.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So I mean, so now since you speak it and you speak life, I know, did he give you clarity on it later on? I mean.
Yes, and the clarity in that piece came maybe 4 months after that. My kid's father died. So the molten lava was hardening of the arteries. He had a stroke. He passed away. So it was kind of like, I kind of think like God was prepping me for what was about to happen. So, yeah. So I stopped speaking it for a while, because I used to couldn't get through it, but I can now.
Wow. So
yeah.
I mean, how long ago?
Endless love is what we all want. It's Savant. Watch me get them down in the building with Slate. You know how we do it. All right. Whether I'm wrong or right, you still love me like I need it. Looking at us now, see if you still believing we still got it. I know our past kinda shaky, but hopes and dreams love to see two people make it. I picture us so major. Look at my soul racing, hearts flutter. I love it so far past base. It's complex. We work through it, getting us to the next position. We progress, mixing love in our sex. It's all good. We made it from the hard times, moving to the times should be all mine. See, like I'm building up the nerve just to ask you one question. I got this ring next to me, think she gon' bless me. All I need is a yes and a kiss and a hug. Still, I promise you can always be this for me. She's the symbol of my heart in the form of a human being. I loved you from the start to our endless love.
I was his only girl. I refused to be second. I lived and breathed inside of his world.
I carried his blood in my veins, gave him the keys to lock chains. I loved him strong. I loved his legacy, his lifeline that came before me. I respected what he was and what he stood for. When he fell and when he had more, I loved him strong. Whatever pleased him, pleased me. Whatever was out of focus for him, I could see. Whatever was unheard, I reopened my ears, and whenever he cried, I became his tears. I love him long. He could feel free to run blindly into me, allowing my heart to be thy sight, covering him in love above the morning light. I love him long. Daybreak didn't hesitate, fell face first into my heart. I know that I am with him now, dearly beloved. I'll never depart, even now. With outstretched limbs I shall entangle thee, and sorrow grows strength like weeping willow tree. I will sing of your rainwater, forever plant you in my mind, and continue to cultivate your roots within the happiness of brine. I loved him strong, I loved him long, I love him still, even now that he's gone, because endless love lives on forever.
Why is he wearing that hoodie?
Because in my opinion, hoodies look better than jackets.
What the heck were they thinking?
If you don't know, just simply ask us.
What is he trying to conceal?
We have nothing to conspire except your dreams to keep us still. My sons have nothing to cover up or even hide. Why do you fear stereotypical curses or even worse, our pride? Hoodies don't camouflage our demeanor, economic status, or even if we've had a haircut. But whoever knew that a revision of martial law would slice the rest of our lives up? My brother went from being incarcerated to evading the reaper. However, I am my brother's keeper.
Why is he wearing that hoodie?
Because it matches.
What the heck were they thinking?
They're not thinking anything, it's just something to wear.
What is he trying to conceal?
No, what are you attempting to cover up? The damage has already been bared. Supporters are repping truth hard, yet only Zimmerman gets the victor's card.
So they thought, so they think, so they say.
There's gotta be a better way.
America, please, take your blinders off.
Sanford Police Department, lines being reported to Sean.
Reporting units to Montgomery County Jail, they say English began banging his head on the walls. Police took English to the hospital to be checked out. It was
only 111 retrieve you or 111?
That's the clubhouse.
That's the clubhouse. Do you know what he's near the clubhouse right now?
Yeah, now he's coming towards me.
Okay.
Chief Richard Beal said the entire incident happened in just 15 seconds.
Yeah, we got him on the way. Just let me know if there's centers or anything else.
Okay. These assholes, they always get away.